This is lesson 10.4 in pre-algebra, addition and subtraction of polynomials. First definition that we have there is what is a polynomial. Poly means many. So what we have is a finite sum of monomials. So if we have a monomial and we add another monomial, that is a polynomial because there's more than one. So it's when we have an addition or subtraction of a bunch of monomials, we get a polynomial. Now, the degree of a polynomial, if we were to look at one of the examples here, let's put this one up there. The degree of the polynomial is, well, I'm going to explain it a little bit different than the book does, but if you look at each one of these terms, separated by a plus or a minus sign, you've got this term, and this term. You look at one of the terms that has the highest exponent in it, and that is the degree of the entire polynomial. So this one has a degree of 5. If I had 2x plus 1, the exponent on the x is a 1, so the degree of that is 1. If we have 3x cubed, and that's all we've got, the degree of that one monomial is 3. And if we have something like a negative 9, it does not have a variable, so it has a degree of 0. Alright, so starting with example 1, we are adding some monomials, and you've already been doing this a little bit. Maybe you just didn't know what it was called. So we have 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. So we're going to take that polynomial and we're going to add another polynomial. Alright, so when we're adding polynomials, the first thing that we're going to do is look at the sign right here. Sometimes we're going to add those, sometimes we're going to subtract them. Okay, so addition, you do one thing, and subtraction, you do something else. So let's start with the addition here. When these things are added, all we have to do to actually add these is get rid of, and I'm going to have to scribble them out because my eraser doesn't work here, all of the parenthesis signs. Okay, so those are gone. So let's go ahead and rewrite that so it doesn't look so messy. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look for like terms. I'm going to circle the like terms with different colors so you can see which ones that are alike. Now remember, like terms are terms that have the same variable and the same exponent on the variable. So notice what I did here. I circled not only the number 4 and the x squared because it's similar to this, but I circled the sign as well. Because if this were a minus sign, it would be 2x squared minus 4x squared. So I've got to circle that sign there so I know what to do with the 2x squared and the 4x squared. Alright, so I've got a minus 5x and a plus 7x. So again, same letter, same exponent, one here and one there. And then lastly, I will circle my plus 3 and my minus 8. So let's add the red together. 2x squared plus 4x squared is going to be 6x squared. And let's bring the negative 5x and the positive 7x together. And the plus 3 and the minus 8. And that is the simplification of adding all of those terms together. So that's example 1. Let's jump over to example 2, where they give us x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6. Now notice here, when we're adding these, the only similar terms, the only like terms are those two. There's no other x squared, so you don't do anything with that. So you just add these two, and there's nothing to add to the 6. So you end up with a simplification just looking like that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into some with minuses. And that's going to force us to do things a little bit different here. So let's take example 3. We have 3x squared plus x plus 4 minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. Alright, so notice what we're doing here. We're subtracting this entire polynomial from this polynomial. We're not just subtracting the x squared, we're subtracting the entire thing. So if we're subtracting the entire thing, we have to put a subtraction sign on this one, and on this one. So that's what this minus does. This minus distributes to every one of these. So in order to take the parentheses off, the first one stays exactly like it is. The second one, all of the signs on every term changes. So this one here is a regular x squared, so we're going to change it into a negative x squared. This one's a plus, so we're going to change it to a minus. And this one's a plus, so we're going to change it to a minus. That is all you have to do. And now we just combine our like terms here, and we're done. So we've got 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. We have plus x minus 2x, so a positive x minus 2x, or a positive x plus a negative 2x. Signs are different. You take the difference between the two. Difference between 2 and 1 is 1. And you put the sign of the largest number on there, and that's where that negative came from right there. So that ends up being just an x. And then we have our 4 and our minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And we get that for our answer. Now when you look at example number 4, they kind of get you a little bit tricky. So let's look at that one. When you look at example 4, we've got, it says subtract negative 4x squared plus 5x minus 7 from x squared minus x minus 1. So that means we're taking it from this, and this is in parentheses, and we're subtracting, what does it say? Negative 4x squared plus 5x minus 7. So we're taking that from that. Alright, so again, to take the parentheses off, in order to do this, we don't do anything to the first set of parentheses. We just take them off. This minus here means that everything is going to switch signs. So this is a minus 4, so it's going to become a plus 4x squared. This is a plus 5x, so it's going to become a negative. And this is a negative, so it's going to become a positive, just like that. Now we can combine this one and this one because they're alike, and we get 5x squared. We're going to combine this negative x and the negative 5x and get negative 6x. And we're going to combine the negative 1 and the positive 7 and get plus 6. And at that point, we are done with that one. Alright, let's jump to one more, and that would be example number 5. And what example number 5 is says, find the value of 3x squared minus 5x plus 4 when x equals negative 2. So we have 3x squared minus 5x plus 4. They want us to find the value of that when x is negative 2. So what we're going to do is substitute negative 2 in for x. So you remember how much I like the parentheses. Okay, so now let's do that part. Do what's in the parentheses first. Negative 2 squared is 4. So I'm just going to leave that there. This here, negative 5 times negative 2 is plus 10. And this is plus 4. We're going to multiply those. This is 22 plus 4, and that equals 26. And that is lesson 10.4.